The Knicks have agreed to trade Bojan Bogdanovic and 4 future first round picks for Mikal Bridges. According to Woj, these picks will be a 2025 first round pick, a 2027 first round pick, a 2029 first round pick, and a 2031 first round pick. But the 2025 is a protected Milwaukee first round pick. So I'm guessing the Knicks somehow got that pick through a trade. So they'll flip that one as one of the picks in this deal. And they're also going to get a 2028 unprotected pick swap, the Nets that is, and a 2025 second round pick for Mikal Bridges, and a 2026 second round pick. So the Knicks gave up 2 second round picks for him, a 2028 unprotected pick swap. Wow. 2028 unprotected pick swap, which means that if the Knicks have like the 5th pick and the Bucks have the 20th pick in 2028, they would have to flip it with each other. Just that's crazy when you think about how many picks they've given up for him. To me, it's insane when you think about it. Just I like Mikal Bridges. I'll say this: he's a very good player. I definitely wouldn't say superstar. I would say at best he could be like a fringe all-star. But man, that's a lot of picks for the Knicks to give up for a guy who's not a superstar. He's definitely a very good player. Basically, I'm going to say that they basically gave up 3 first-round picks for him at least. Granted, it says 4, but 2025 is the Bucks' first-round pick that I believe they acquired in a trade. So they're giving up 3 of their own first-round picks plus the Bucks' first-round pick. So you gave up 3 of your own first-round picks for this guy. I hope they're lottery protected, to be honest. And a pick swap in 2028. That's just crazy. In the short term, I think this trade will help the Knicks going forward. Long term, it's really going to depend on just the health of their team, their roster, their core for the next several years. When I look at just their roster, the way they're set up, I think Mikal Bridges paired with the OG, just that gives them an elite perimeter defense right there, where you could start Mikal Bridges at shooting guard and you can play OG at the 3. You have Julius at the 4, and then you have either Mitch or Isaiah at the 5, and then you have Jalen Brunson at the 1. That they become a ridiculous team when you think about that lineup. They have a great perimeter defense right there, and then you still have Josh Hart and DiVincenzo off the bench, so that makes their bench really good with those 2 guys off the bench. And you either have Isaiah or Mitch off their bench. So that gives them a good 8-man rotation. It'll be interesting who the Knicks draft with their first-round picks this year. They have 2 of those. And who they acquire in free agency. I don't know if the Knicks have any free agents that are worthy of mention. I'm just going to check that right now. Just looking at it. Just going to pull it up on Hoops Hype. Let's see. New York. Where are they on here? Okay, I found them. The only big-time free agents they have is OG and Isaiah, but I think they're going to keep both of them most likely. Precious Achiuwa, I think, is also a free agent, if I'm not mistaken, but if he leaves, it's not really a loss, if we're being honest here. Jericho Sims, I think, is also a free agent, but again, not a big deal. All these other guys are not important when you look at the list. They have their core guys coming back next year. They just have to keep OG and Isaiah, but I think they will. So that makes them an interesting team. Whoever they draft their picks, that'll be interesting. And I think if they could sign just 1 or 2 more solid players, Knicks can really be a team to reckon with in the East. They have a shot at it next season going into it to potentially get out of East with this trade. I would I would believe, because if you look at their perimeter, it's built to match up with the Celtics. They have guys that can match up now with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and then you have guys in Hart and DiVincenzo that can match up with Giroux and Derek White. The only really problem could be Porzingis from the Celtics when it comes to who the Knicks have to match up with him. But this team has a lot of depth. Obviously, I wouldn't say they have the best player in the East in Jalen Brunson or Julius, but they're a very loaded team. It kind of makes me think of the '04 Pistons. Not to say that they're similar, but just I would say from a depth standpoint, they're very deep. They're going to have a great 8-man rotation. So I think they have a really good shot of getting out of the East next year if things go right. I won't say they're going to get out yet because I got to look at what the other teams do, but they put themselves in position to be a top 3 team again in the East, and maybe the best team in the East if their chemistry is right and they do a few more moves this summer. But short term, I think this is great. Long term, I don't know. We'll see how costly giving up these first round picks are going to be.